guys, welcome back to my channel. This is my Demented Cheshire Cat inspired look. I hope that you really like it. I had a lot of fun doing it, of course, because there's lots of blood and stuff involved. But I had posted this look a long time ago on my Instagram when I almost first started it. So I was scrolling through my pictures and thought this is probably something you guys would want a tutorial on because a lot of people ask me how I did it. So it's not exactly like how it was on my Instagram picture, but it's pretty close. So yeah, if you guys want to know how I did this look, please keep watching. And other than that, I will talk to you guys later. Bye. So for this look, we're going to use some things that weren't used in the last video and some things that are all the same. And the things that are the same are the toilet paper, the bottle of blood, the liquid latex, the bruise wheel, cotton, the triangle makeup sponge. It looks like this. I think that's it. The thing that we're gonna use that's a little bit different is spirit gum. This is basically a liquid adhesive. It kind of acts like a super glue, but it's not as hurtful to you as super glue is. So that's about it for the materials we're going to be using. So let's just go ahead and get started. Like always, when I start making a look like this, or if it's a picture that inspires me, I always have a reference picture. We're going to be doing a Cheshire Cat inspired look, so I found a picture that I liked that was a Cheshire Cat, so I'm going to be referencing from that picture, and I have the picture on my lap. Right, so the first thing I want to do is paint my face like a whitish gray, and what I'm going to be using is my Mehron Basic Paradise palette. And I'm going to just use a big brush and use that white and black paint to make a gray color, and I'm going to paint that all over my face. And it doesn't need to be a really thick coat. I want it to be light. So after we've painted our faces and it's the color we like and you've let it dry a little bit, I'm going to take any kind of eyeliner pencil or what have you, and I'm going to draw out my mouth. So as I'm looking at my reference picture, the cat's mouth starts way back here and it's really thin. The mouth isn't gaping. So I'm gonna start about right here and then come across to about the bottom of my nose. Then I'm gonna make the lower jawline, but I'm not gonna bring it down way down here. I'm probably gonna keep it right at my the bottom of my lower lip. Alright, so I've mapped out my mouth, and I know that we just started working on the mouth, but I'm going to stop because for me, mapping out the mouth is the hardest part, and then everything else is just so much fun to me that it's not hard. But what I'm going to do is start working on my eye makeup. So for my eye makeup, I'm going to be using the Shany palette. This is just half of the palette. There's another palette that looks just like this with obviously different colors. I love the Shany palette, especially for eyeshadows when I'm working with special effects, because they're so powdery and they just stick to your face. So I love this palette for special effects because it's so effective. You can use any palette you want. I'm sure it'll work. This is just the only palette I've used for special effects. This is actually just a normal makeup palette that you use for makeup, just an everyday eyeshadow palette that you can use every day and do whatever you want to with it. But I mainly use this for special effects. What I'm gonna do is I'm looking at my picture, and the cat has lots of blue on his face and on his cheeks, I guess. So I'm going to pick out a blue color that I like. It's this blue color right here. It's kind of a teal, electric blue color. And I'm just gonna use my finger and I'm going to make stripes down my head. And I'm gonna start from my hairline so it looks like it's actually coming out, from my head. And then I'm gonna make another one that comes down on the opposite side of that. And he's got another couple coming out from about here. And this doesn't have to be perfect. Mine is not going, I'm not gonna look just like the Cheshire Cat, I'm using it as a reference. So If you get done with this look and you're like, oh my gosh, I look nothing like the cat, don't worry about it. It's an inspired look. You probably don't want to look just like the Cheshire Cat. You want to do your own unique version of that. So don't fret. In between these blue stripes that we made, I'm gonna put a little black. I am gonna use a brush for this because if I use my finger, it'll just get messy, and I don't want it to be, you know, super dark. So what I'm doing is basically going on the edges of these blue lines we made and just creating a little shadow. Let's move on to our eyeshadow now. I'm kind of having trouble figuring out what color I want to use, whether it be black or blue. So I think what I'm going to do is use a blue eyeshadow, like right on my lid, and then have a really sharp wing that goes out and then kind of extends into the corner of my eye so it looks more cat-like. So what I'm going to do is just keep using this palette because it's what's in my hand. So for my lid, I'm just going to go back in with this blue color that we used on our stripes. While I was putting this blue eyeshadow on, my camera decided to crap on me. So basically what I did is nothing crazy happened. I just put this blue eyeshadow on my lid and I just packed that on because I really want it to be vibrant. So that's all I did. And then what I'm going to do is take just a different finger and go in with this color right here. It's like a really light silvery gray color, and I'm going to put that above that blue color we just used, so it kind of matches our skin tone. Okay, so for eyeliner, I'm going to use my Bodyography liquid eyeliner pen. It looks like this. I like this and I don't like this. So this eyeliner pen has kind of one of those felt marker head tips, but it's so stiff. I could go to jail for murdering someone with this pen because it's so stiff, but I can't find my other one. Oh, there it is. So since I found my other one, which is my Starlooks Eyeliner Longwear pen, I'm going to use that on my lid and use my Bodyography pen in my inner corner to make that really sharp point. So let's just start with our lid. So for the inner corner, what I'm going to do, and the best way I can explain this, is I'm going to extend my inner corner out. So I'm going to start about here on my inner corner and then make a line out like that. So I extended that inner corner out, and then from this line, I'm going to come back in to my lower lash line. The reason I stopped right here around the middle of my eye with that pen is because I want to fill that in with gel. That really hard tip pen that I was using skips a lot on my eye, you can probably tell. So I go back over it with a gel crayon, and this is a Marc Jacobs Highliner crayon. So I'm just going to go on my lash line with this crayon and meet up to that wing we created. And then I'm going to go back over this line that I made with my liquid liner and go over any of the lines that look like it was skipping. So when you get done lining your lower lash line, go into your waterline with a white crayon. This is the NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in Milk. So I'm going to just take this and rub this in my waterline, and I'm going to really I'm going to just really draw this in there because I want my waterline to be super, super white. And then I'm going to do my lashes. So I'm just going to use my Benefit They're Real mascara on my real lashes and then put falsies on top of them. Okay, so let's move on to our mouth. So what I'm going to do is just take my triangle makeup sponge, my liquid latex that I have in my bowl, and instead of using this fatter square end, I'm going to use the thinner end right here, and I'm going to dip it in my liquid latex, and what I'm going to do is start going over that outline that we made with our pen. Basically, I work in sections like this and then start putting my toilet paper on top of that. That way I don't have to worry about it drying too fast before I can stick toilet paper to it. And then keep repeating that process until your entire edge of your mouth is covered. Now that I have my first layer, I'm gonna go over it with a second layer because I really want it to be thick. So now that I have my second coat of liquid latex on and it's dry, I'm going to paint this open space black so it looks like the inside of a mouth. So I'm just gonna go back in to my Paradise paint palette from Mehron and just with a paintbrush paint this open area black. And it's okay if you get some on your liquid latex. We're gonna paint that later anyway, so don't stress out about that. Now that this is dry, we're gonna move on to teeth. So what I use for teeth is actually acrylic nails, and I cut them and I shape them into the shape of really sharp teeth. What I'm going to do with said tooth is take my Mehron Spirit Gum, tap some glue on these flat sides and wait till it gets tacky, about 30 seconds or so. And what I'm also going to do is paint some right on the liquid latex that we pasted on our face. So once it gets sticky, I'm going to take that nail and press it into that liquid latex we just layered on our face. I'm gonna go all around my mouth with these teeth that I made. So my first 4 that I'm gonna stick here are probably the biggest, and then they start getting smaller. As I started doing this, I kind of thought of a better idea because I'm gonna end up putting liquid latex over these teeth anyway to keep them in place more and to replicate lips. But since some of the teeth aren't sticking very well, I'm going to do it in pieces. So I'm going to put a couple teeth down and then put liquid latex over it. So what I'm going to do is get my liquid latex and then I'm going to place it over these teeth and try and get in between them if you can. And then back over that lip we just created, or we had created over here. And then take some toilet paper and stick them down. And that way they're kind of reinforced. And then when you pull, be careful because you might pull your tooth off, but yeah. We're learning as we go. Look at us. Okay, so I've put all my teeth in, and the way I align my teeth is each bottom tooth went in between the top teeth. So on each side, each bottom tooth is going in between each top tooth. So while I was off camera, I made my lips for the top part of my lip, and I'm gonna make lips for the bottom part. It's really, really easy. Just take your liquid latex and start stippling it on your bottom part of your teeth where, you know, lips would be covering it. So I'm going to start putting it here. And then what I'm going to do is take some toilet paper and roll it. Just not in any specific way. I just kind of roll it between my fingers. And then lay that on top of the liquid latex we stippled down. And then press that into your teeth so it gets in between. And then on top of that, put more liquid latex to cement that in. And do it all the way across. Okay, now that our liquid latex is dry, I'm gonna go over my lips with a red color and then outline them in black. So I'm just gonna take a little angled paintbrush that looks kind of like this, and it tapers at the end, and I'm going to dip that into my red paint and paint my lips red. And if this gets on your teeth, don't worry about it because we're gonna go over all this with blood, so it'll it won't matter. And don't worry about getting every single piece of liquid latex covered in red either, because like I said, we're gonna go over all that with blood, so it'll eventually cover everything up. No problem. All right, now we're just gonna take that same paintbrush and go into our black paint and go around the edges of our mouth and paint that black. And then I'm gonna take my Graftobian blood paste. This is that really thick coagulated blood looking stuff. All right, so using my Graftobian blood paste and a Q-tip, I'm gonna dip that Q-tip into the blood paste and go in between each tooth and a little bit on my gums. Now, if this gets on your teeth, it's totally fine. It's gonna actually, I think it looks cooler if it does, because you want it to, you want your cat to look demented. So I'm just gonna go in between each tooth and add a little bit of blood and spread that along my gums. And you don't need a lot of this stuff. Like, a little bit goes a very, very long way. As I was looking at my face, I decided I kind of wanted fleshy looking bits hanging from my mouth. So I'm going to take some cotton and dip it in some liquid latex and just put it on a tooth and let it hang like a piece of flesh. Because I really wanted it to look like my cat ate something and has remnants of what he ate hanging off of his mouth. And then I'm going to take some fake blood. This is the more liquidy kind. And I'm going to pour some of this into my hand and then spread it all over my mouth. Then I think on my Instagram I also had a handprint on my throat, so I'm going to do that. Like, someone just grabbed my throat, so I'm trying to figure out which hand. I think this one. So just add as much blood as you want until you're satisfied. Usually with looks like this, I really kind of go overboard, but why not? And if you're doing this over carpet, be careful, because you don't want to stain your carpet. And then I'm really getting that fleshy part, like the look of like I just ate something really bloody. And I'm also gonna put a little drop of blood here. And I'm gonna take this and flick it on my face. There. So this is the final look. I really hope you like it. I had so much fun doing this for you guys, and I was really excited to do this because I have it posted on Instagram, and I really wanted to get it out there and show you guys how I pulled this off. So yeah, other than that, that's it. But let me know if you guys try it out, or if there's another look that you would like for me to do. Please let me know. Leave any questions or comments below, and I will talk to you later. Bye guys. Son of a... My paint. I don't know what the fuck I did with it. Oh, here it is. Do you hear that dryer? Do you hear the dryer? Babe.
What?
Do you hear the dryer?
Yeah. I don't know why it started that also.
Oh, okay, it's because we're recording.
Eyeliner.
Like this. And just kind of... Well, if I can.